let's talk trash. It's that time where I round up all of my empties for that last 3 months and then I tell you about them. I parade them in front of you as little tiny achievements. But before we go any further, welcome back to Alex versus Eyeshadow, or welcome if you are new. Over here on this channel, we like to focus on panning makeup, using up what we have, creating product empties, and resisting the urge to overspend, overconsume, and instead just enjoy what we have. So if that does sound like a good time to you, then please do stick around and maybe even consider subscribing. I'm posting a video every Thursday on this channel. We are so close to 100 subscribers and I would love to reach 100 subscribers by the end of April, hopefully. So if you want to help me out with reaching that goal, then please do consider subscribing. Or if you're not ready to subscribe just yet, then just leave me a like instead, and that will really help the channel out too and take this content to the right people. Let's get back to the trash, the garbage, the rubbish. I'm just going to pick things up and show them to you, no particular order, but we've got, to be honest, it's mainly makeup. We've got a little bit of skincare. I don't tend to hold on to things like deodorant, toothpaste, shampoo, shower gel, those like boring everyday things that you get through anyway, unless it's something remarkable either in a good way or a bad way that I wanted to comment on. So we've just got a little bit of skincare here, but we have got mainly makeup, which is very good because I want to beat my 27 makeup empties of last year and get over 27 makeup empties this year. So I feel like we're getting there. We're making good progress. So let us begin. First, those of you who have been watching my Project Pan video will be familiar with this. This is the Beauty Bay Mattifying Setting Mist. I actually ended up falling in love a little bit with this setting mist. It is a very good one. It does say that it's mattifying, but I wouldn't call it mattifying. It's just one of those that melts your makeup down, makes it look a lot better, a little bit more lived in, and it stops it sort of like transferring onto your hands as well when you touch your face or whatever. A very effective setting mist. However, it does have denatured alcohol in it. I try to avoid products with denatured alcohol in them just because they create free radicals in the skin, which then lead to premature aging. And we want to be trying to put as many good things as we can on our skin. I know that it's not possible to have a perfect run of just perfect ingredients on your skin, but as long as we're being a little bit more conscious about the good things and the bad things, I think we're at least partly on our way. So although I did enjoy this, I will not be rebuying it. Just as a little reminder, if you are in the UK, don't forget to use your Boots app to recycle your empties. If you have 5 empties, you can then recycle them in store in exchange for £5 worth of advantage points if you spend £10 in Boots, which I think is just an amazing deal, and that is where I take all of my empties to go and be recycled. I was looking at the recycling provider's website and they turn the plastic into building blocks and then they build houses. I can't remember if it was houses or commercial buildings out of the blocks made out of the recycled empties, which is pretty cool. I'll just quickly go through these little mini perfume empties. I've been really trying to focus on getting my miniature perfume collection down to a reasonable size, and I actually think I've only got one left. I've just got one diptyque one, which is the size up from this size, if that makes sense. So first we've got When the Rain Stops by Replica, and this is meant to smell like rain on asphalt, basically, and it does have a little bit of that wet gravelly undertone to it, and then but it's also a very like clean fresh scent as well. And when I first got this, it very much got up my nose. Maybe it's mellowed out over time, I don't know, but over time I started to like it a little bit more, and I feel like I have started to like very clean, like soapy smells a little bit more recently as well, so I think maybe that's why I got a bit more into it. I probably wouldn't rebuy this or get the full size or anything, and then on top of that, Replica do test on animals, so again it's just one of those, you know, when you're just shopping and you have a momentary lapse, you can't be perfect all the time. Same with these diptyque ones. I think diptyque tests on animals as well, but I was buying presents for people not last Christmas, the Christmas before, and they send like loads of free samples if you spend over a certain amount, so I've got all these little diptyque bits that I had to work through. Again, I didn't really like these when I first got them, but over time I started to like them. So I had Tamdale. It kind of smells like straw, but in a good way. Straw, chocolate, coconuts, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't buy the full size just because diptyque tested animals. My favourite perfume makers of all time are obviously Le Labo, really beautiful, deep, interesting scents, and they don't test on animals either. So if I was ever to direct my spending towards a luxury perfume, that's where I would go, or a high-end perfume. They are quite expensive. I would probably consider Le Labo in the luxury ballpark. And then I've also got Orpheon by Diptyque as well, and another one that just grew on me over time, and this is more of like a deep, dark, mysterious, it conjures images of violets and jasmine and like a deep, dark, floral, midnight landscape is what it makes me think of. It's quite hard to describe smells, isn't it? That is my perfume rant for this video. Let's get back to the other types of product. It's the Ordinary Glucoside Foaming Cleanser, and I bought this as a replacement for the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Cleanser that I was in love with, just because, you know, I don't support e.l.f. anymore. I'll stop going on about it in every video. I bought this as a replacement. I feel like it is important just to be as conscious and ethical as you can when you can, especially when it comes to something like makeup, which is a frivolity really. It's not essential. So if you're buying something that's not essential, I think that you should try and be as ethical as you can in those purchases. I feel like this does the exact same job that the Holy Hydration Cleanser was doing. I just go in with this twice. I don't go in with a balm then a cleanser. I just go in with this twice. This I feel like might be a slightly bigger size than the e.l.f. one. I'm not sure. This is 150 mils, but I do feel like this lasts a little bit longer. This took me quite a while to get through, and the bottle does look bigger, but it's skinnier, so I don't know if it's bigger or not, but happy with this. Will continue to rebuy this. In fact, I already have one on the go already. The NYX Ultimate Shadow and Liner Primer. I always say it's not the most catchy name, but it is what it is. I really enjoyed it when I was using it. It was a very good eyeshadow primer. It did the job that eyeshadow primers did. It stopped my eyelids getting greasy, and it maintained my eyeshadow longevity. However, this went off before I could finish it. It probably went off within about a year, maybe a year and a half. On the back it says that it lasts 6 months. There is no way that I would ever have been able to use all of this in 6 months. So why are they putting so much in the packaging? It's like engineered waste. Like, you will always have to waste it because you will never be able to use it before it goes off. And that is one of the things I hate most about makeup, is when it goes off before you could ever dream of finishing it. Okay, yes, you've put a 6 month shelf life on it, but you literally, even if I wore this every single day, there's no way I would use it all in 6 months. So I wasn't able to finish this because it went off. It started smelling weird. It made my eyelids break out in a rash. It was just a really bad time. I won't be rebuying this because it's a bad product, and I've just gone back to the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Let's see how I get on with that instead. Another NYX product here. We have got the NYX Epic Ink Liner. This is the black one. I actually think I've given, oh, that's why I gave up on this one. The packaging broke. The branding has come off the pen, and then the pen is really badly leaking and it's really frayed. And it was just becoming a bit of a bad time using this. I did start using it just like, I just got eyeliner on the carpet. So I was just using it like this, got rid of this bit, and I was just using it like this instead because I didn't want to waste it. But it was just becoming a really bad time to use it. It was leaking everywhere. It was getting quite stuck in the lid, so I was having to pull on it, and then when I pull on it, it would flick eyeliner everywhere. This has frequently come up as being one of my favourite makeup products of all time, but this specific one has been a really, really bad time. I was recently given the Glisten Spectra pen liners as a birthday present, and these are amazing. So one end is a star stamp and one end is a liquid liner, and this is actually amazing. Creates a very fine point. It goes over all kinds of eyeshadow. It goes over glitter, because I find that sometimes liquid eyeliner can't go over glitter eyeshadow. I don't know what it is. And it doesn't spread either. I think this is going to be my new favourite eyeliner of all time. Sorry, NYX. Got a Zoeva eyebrow pencil, and I think the shade that this was has rubbed off. It was just dark brown. And I have finished this, as you can see, obviously, and this was fine. It's just an eyebrow pencil. I just feel like there's never anything particularly remarkable to say about an eyebrow pencil, and I actually think that it's something that I'm going to stop purchasing. I've been filling my eyebrows in with just a brown eyeshadow recently, and it's doing the same job, and I just have so many brown eyeshadows. I have a glut of brown eyeshadows that can do the job that an eyebrow pencil will do. So instead of constantly generating plastic and waste by buying eyeshadow pencils, I'm just going to be filling my eyebrows in with eyeshadow. There was nothing wrong with this, I just won't be rebuying eyeshadow pencils anymore. Got a few little samples here. So I've got the Laneige Cream Skin Serapeptide Toner and Moisturiser. I did also finish the thicker sample of this, and I did really like both of these initially, and I was almost convinced to go out and buy the full-sized moisturiser of the one that's the thicker consistency of this. I can't remember what the name is, and I don't know what I've done with the empty, so we're one empty missing, but that's okay. Yeah, I was almost convinced to buy the full size of the thicker one of this, because both of them are such a wonderful hydrating texture, and they make your skin feel so lovely and bouncy, but they leave like a rubbery kind of residue on the surface of my skin that I didn't really enjoy, and it lasted all day, especially with the thicker one than this one, which is the one that I was looking to purchase. So unfortunately, these will not be for me. I've got a little tiny Youth to the People face wash, the kale green tea and spinach vitamins one. It had a lovely smell, it did the job, it washed the makeup off, but I actually think that the ordinary one performed better in terms of getting all of the grime and all of the makeup and everything off. I think that performed better. And then I also have this double serum by Clarins. Is it Clarins? Yeah, this double serum by Clarins that my partner's mum gave me because she got given them as a free gift with purchase. And this is just really good when your skin needs a really severe shot of hydration. It's like a two-part oil-based serum. I used to save these for after I'd been travelling, you know, when the plane really dries out your skin and you just need a deep intensive shot of moisturiser that's not greasy and not going to break you out. This is what I was using these for. But now that I've run out of this, I do have a couple of the eye serum ones left, but not the face serum ones. But I will not go out and rebuy this myself. I think one Clarins is like crazy expensive. I think they do also test on animals, so I wouldn't rebuy this. I've got the Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick, and this is in the shade Stoked, and this is a very exciting empty for me, which you will probably already know about if you've been watching my Project Pan. I really loved this. I loved the shade of it. It was the perfect shade for me. Because I've got quite big round cheeks, I can't be contouring too much because it'll just look a bit silly. So this was just a perfect shade for me, quite cool toned, not too deep, not too much, just to get a tiny little bit of shape. It's quite a stiff formula, so you could get quite a precise angle. However, the same complaint with this as with the NYX eyeshadow primer, in that it goes off before you could ever dream of finishing it. So this has a 12-month shelf life. I did have it longer than 12 months, but I did think it started to smell a little bit weird within those 12 months. And I don't think I'm the only person. Oh, that is very bad now. Oh, I'm glad that I finished that when I did. And I'm not the only person that I've heard talking about that this doesn't have a great shelf life. Oh, and the bottom's just broken off it as well. As much as I loved the formula, loved the shade, the longevity, again, just isn't quite there for me, so I would not repurchase this either. We have the Lumen Nordic Sea Glow Boost Essence, and oh my god, let me tell you, I loved this. You could genuinely see the difference in my skin when I was and wasn't using this, which I'm not using it now. It really does it does just make your skin glow. It really brings like a radiance forth from your skin. However, I developed an allergic reaction to it, so I'm still not quite sure what went on there, because there was just seemed to be a lot going on at the same time that was breaking me out, and I'm completely fine now, but it seemed like products with vitamin C added were breaking me out, because I also tried the Paula's Choice vitamin C sunscreen, and that also not breaking me out, like I genuinely was developing a rash from them. So I really wish that I could rebuy this if I I would, because it was actually amazing, but I developed an allergy to it randomly. So unfortunately, I will be getting rid of this with just a little tiny bit left in the bottom there. Then we've got a Summer Fridays lip balm, lip butter balm. This is the sweet mint one. I'm still not sure how I feel about these. I have a love-hate relationship with these. Sometimes I really think that it's making my lips feel nice and bouncy and juicy, and other times I just feel like it's sitting on the surface of my lips and not doing anything at all. Towards the end of me finishing a full size of one of these, I convinced myself that I did actually really like it, and ended up buying a little pack of mini ones. But I think once I've got through the mini ones, I won't rebuy it again. I've learnt my lesson. I don't like it that much. I've just got a Real Technique sponge here, and as you can see, it has had a hard long life, but it's getting that weird cellulite looking texture on it. I think you can see there, I've got a chunk gouged out of it here. So this one has finished for me as well. I have been using the Clomana mini ones, and those seem to draw in less makeup into them, whereas the Real Technique ones, I feel like you have to fill it with foundation and then you're able to use it almost. So I might be moving over to the Clomana ones as my favourite once all my Real Techniques ones slowly start to die. I've got the Fenty foundation. I always forget the name of this. Hydrating Longwear foundation in the shade 290, and this was discontinued maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe even a little bit longer. I found this in a makeup outlet store a couple of years ago and in my shade, and I was just like, oh my god, like I literally gasped and made the woman in the shop laugh. This is my favourite foundation of all time, just because it's the best shade match that I've ever found for my skin tone. It's just a perfect medium light olive undertoned foundation. Even if you buy the Fenty foundations that they make now in the same shade number, they just don't quite have that same olive undertone to them. They're a little bit warmer, but obviously I can still get away with them. I'm wearing a Fenty one today and it looks fine. I do think my neck looks a bit more green than my face. I don't know if you think that. I would rebuy this if it still existed, but it doesn't. So it's a good job that I finished it, because we need to start finishing up things that don't even exist anymore. Would it be one of my Beauty Empties without one of these? This is the Fresh Breath Co. dentist formulated Fresh Breath oral rinse. This has certainly caught on, because whenever I go to my local Boots, the shelf is cleared out of this. The people who loved this didn't gatekeep it hard enough, and now the whole world knows about it and you can't get hold of it. But it's just a really amazing mouthwash. Like I say, quite a mild flavour, which I think is quite weird to start with, but you do get used to it over time, because it's got this weird viscous texture but not a lot of flavour. And it's kind of like shot in a bit of spit, a bit of minty spit. And it is so good for just keeping your breath nice and fresh all day and not getting any weird tastes or anything developing in your mouth. I finished this in January and I haven't got a new one on the go yet, because every time I go into Boots, there's none there. But once it does become available again, I will be repurchasing this, because I do really like it. Those are my empties for the first 3 months of the year. I think we're doing okay. We're clearing out some stuff. I really want to try and clear out all of my minis, all of my samples, because I've learned that I don't really benefit from picking up samples, especially of skincare, because it's not enough in the sample for you to figure out whether you like it or not anyway. I feel like I've whittled my skincare collection down now to just the essentials, just the stuff that really works for me. And now we're working on the makeup collection as well, although I'm finding that a lot harder, because makeup spending is just so tantalising, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed that video and enjoyed literally talking about rubbish with me. Please do consider subscribing if you like this kind of content. I've got a lot more of it to come, and catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.